And you can see everything I've been doing so far. The component here automatically creates a combination, a bar chart combination of all the displayed data in real time. This is a very powerful way to be able to drill down into a customer's wealth and make decisions. These are all the customers, a journal of all the customers' transactions and cash events, just to be able to show you how much information you can get on a single page. So we have also used the thematic map component here. Well, this is not the Greek sovereign crisis spreading to the world. We've done our part. So how it works is there are coloring schemes here to be able to distinguish between geographic areas of focus here. For example, the green area here is the so-called BRIC area. It's an investment focus area, and BRIC stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China, which is the next, or currently is, creating investment opportunity. So these are the investment focus areas. You can see how much of the customer's wealth accounts for the geographical area at the bottom. And the biggest the sphere is, it shows the biggest the wealth, the biggest the position of this customer on securities that are being issued in this specific country. Right, so you can see the customer's exposure on different countries. This poor guy is very much exposed to risk. And again, use the calendar once more, because this is a maturities calendar. Is when bonds and time deposits are maturing in the future. The account officer has to know what's coming up in the next week or a month or so to be able to discuss new opportunities, because this will be liquidated, for example, next week, and they get an opportunity to discuss what to buy next. One more very important screen here is this screen, is where the actual advisory service takes place. As soon as I click on this screen, you can see that throughout my session, I'm working with the selected customer. It's at the top right here. So the system sort of remembers in the session of the application the last customer they've been working with. Right, so on this screen, we have used this beautiful radar chart, because what it does is it depicts the actual investment model that the customer should be in and the actual position of the customer against that model. So this basically says that this customer should have been between 60 and 90% in bonds, and his actual position now is 41%. So on every axis, we get the base asset class of the customer's investments. This axis would be bond, for example. You can see this is the minimum and maximum required for this model. So he's good for structured bonds, he's right in between, but he's very short on bonds. You see, it's not between min and max. So what these guys are doing are trying to convince the customers to buy or sell products in order to get them closer to this model. So this guy will be trying to get the bonds somewhere between these two dots. So what they're doing is they're creating a what-if scenario, is a scenario that contains hypothetical instructions to the customers, for the customer to accept or reject. For example, this would be a scenario here that actually would require the customer to buy 40,000 euro worth of bonds. And at the same time, you see that the radar chart has been updated, and you can see the new red line shows you how the scenario is getting the investment strategy of the customer back on track. It's getting him from the actual position a bit closer. So this is a good scenario for the advisor here to advise the customer. Right. Now, MiFID is a regulatory requirement in Europe. It's actually a test that validates some information on the customer's holdings. It's like an algorithm running every time they provide an advice. So this algorithm can get very complex at some times. So just press this button and run the MiFID test, so-called MiFID test. And the account officer here needs to know if it was successful or not. So basically, how it traversed through the algorithm. And the coloring scheme says here that the green is a successful test, red is a failure. For example, here there is a red square saying that something went wrong, but at the end the test was successful. And you get a nice Star Wars. I already do it for free, no coding. No coding at all. Right. So in order to get a glimpse of the customer's investment profile, we've done this dashboard. We get this behavior. We can drag and drop and maximize everything. This is the complete look at the customer's profile. You can see that we're dynamically altering the chart here because this is a customer portfolio with a single dimension, a single asset class, and we couldn't have a radar chart, of course, with a single axis. So this is a portfolio with many investment types, and this is the one. One last thing to show you today is benchmarking. Benchmarking is a complex algorithm of analyzing the customer's holdings against some independent data or benchmarks as they call. We got this idea from the actual feature demos Oracle has up on their websites. This is a dashboard again. You can sort of drag and drop everything. You can limit what you see to charts only, or metrics, or show all, or nothing, and be able to drag everything you want to use here. Right, you get the idea. And actually, it would be a good opportunity to show you this chart. This is a powerful way to be able to visualize the standard deviation of the customer's portfolio performance against